Testing, 1, 2. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hey art buddies, today we're going to do a talk through of a Copic marker portrait. This one here. This is one I did in December last year. You can see. And I thought you guys might find it interesting to hear some tips and tricks and musings from what they call on TikTok, a Copic witch. I need a hat. Tips and tricks from the Copic witch. Feel like I need to do this hat up as like a proper Copic witch hat. Maybe as the videos go on, I'll add to it. I do have a black one somewhere. This is more of a Gandalf hat. Anyway, today it is my Copic witch hat. I'm going to have this video going on my computer. I'm sure I'll work out a better way of doing this system later, but I just wanted to get the content out to you today. So you'll have to deal with this, and my whole setup's going to change soon anyway, so bear with me. So with all of my marker artworks, I put down like a really very, very light layer as my first initial sketch. It often looks like on camera, because you can't see it, that I'm just sort of going straight in with the markers, which I guess is part of the Copic witch persona. But I'm not that crazy. I definitely do a lot of sketching out in like the really, really light, like 0000, like CG or WG, like all of those sort of like grey colours, or if I know it's going to be something that's like more purple based or something like that, I'll use a really light purple, and I sketch it all out so then I have something to follow. And because it's in Copic or in markers, that way it just all blends in the end. If you're using pencil or anything like that, then it's just going to start muddying your artwork and getting smudged all around with all the colours. Sometimes I'll do a mock-up of what I want it to look like before I even put pen to paper. So sometimes that's digital, sometimes it's just like a quick marker portrait. Obviously not as fancy as this, just to sort of give me an idea of where my colours are going to be. And then that way when I start putting these first lines down, I know what colours that area is going to be. So in this case, like whether it's going to be like a dark blue or a purple in that area, how dark is it going to be? And I can sort of decide, the dogs are joining me, I can sort of decide what I want that area's line to look like so it blends in. Also with backgrounds like this, because there's such a sort of larger, I guess, area that this blue, dark blue and black is going to be, I really struggle, and I think a lot of people really struggle with such a big area, making it look flat without any sort of like strokes or sort of mottled, I don't even know what to call it, but like texture. You can definitely see that it's markers, it's not like flat and smooth. So I often use multiple colours to kind of break it up so it's supposed to look like that. So you see I'm going in here with like a lot of sort of darker blues, greys. I'm never using black. The only time I will ever use black is maybe on like eyes, like eyelashes, to draw your eye to the eye. But yeah, I'm using like really dark, this is probably like, I can't quite see it, but probably like a C9 or a C10. And then I'm going in with like the slightly lighter colours. This one I think is eggplant. And I'm mocking out my shadows. Now, I don't go in with what colour it's going to be. I'll make this darker later. But I'm sort of deciding where I want it to be first, and then I'm going in again with the darker colours. It's probably a waste of marker, I guess, but it works better for me. And I kind of feel like sometimes if you have one colour under another, it sort of changes what your final colour on top looks like as well. So it's sort of, I think it's okay, but it's up to you if you want to follow that step. I kind of like to play it safe, because if you put something so dark down, like these really dark, like CG10s and various other dark colours, you cannot come back from that. You can come back from a lot, but not from something that dark. So I tend to work a little bit light to dark, and then I work in my really dark shadows everywhere. So you kind of see like I've done all in her eyes up here, and I'm working in on the mouth here as well. And then I start going in with some of the lighter tones. So these sort of purple colours, you see I put down like a pinky purple, and then I put the darker colours on top again. That pinky purple is going to sort of come through a little bit and change what that final colour looks like. It's a bit hard to sort of mix your colours when you're using a marker, and that's probably the closest you can get to it. Because they're transparent, you can kind of, I guess, mimic colour mixing in that way. Now again, I'm going in with like a sort of a brighter colour than what it's going to end up being, but I just wanted to make sure that that shadow was correct, and then I've got that lovely blue colour coming in through as well. Whereas when I'm looking at this ear here, I'm using more of like I guess like an ashy maroon almost before I'm putting in the other colour on top. And when the final product is shown, you'll be able to see like I guess kind of the same color, but they're not, like they're the same darkness, but they're definitely different colors. And I think that really helps with portraiture, especially something like is this dark. You sort of want to have as much differentiation as possible. And it's just more interesting to look at. You don't want everything to just be like one color. I find that boring. And I'm going in with sort of like the pinks. One trick I like to use, it's I guess a little bit of color theory. Anything that's further away from the camera, I tend to make quite dark. Oh, not dark, it's not the word I want. I make it quite sort of cool. So like where sort of like this part of her head's sort of coming further away from the camera, but like her cheeks and her nose are a lot closer, or close enough. I'm making those more of that sort of warmer pink color, and then as it's going further back, it's getting a little bit cooler and a little bit cooler, and that tricks your eye into thinking that something's closer or something's further away. Of course, there's times where this rule doesn't apply. For example, if you've got some kind of lighting or something that's further back that is a warm color, and that can be a lot more difficult to, I guess, translate onto paper. But as a general rule, and especially if you're starting out trying this technique, I would definitely suggest thinking about doing cool colors further back and warm colors further forward. Things you'll see like on her lip, like this sort of shadow that's under here is going to be very dark and very cool. And then as her lip comes forward in this area here, I'm going to make it a bit warmer. You can see I'm going in again here with like quite a light tone, which definitely isn't going to blend into that shadow immediately. But I want to sort of have that cool tone underneath before I'm going in with this sort of like pinker color, just to get the I don't know. Why do I do things? Why? I don't know, it works. I really like having like 10 million colors to create one color. I just think it's a lot more interesting. And as you can see, like I think I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 or 6 colors just on that forehead area there. But that I think helps it blend a lot more. Now for her hair, I really was considering doing just like purples and blues and stuff, but I did put a little bit of a brown tone in there. Again, just to sort of make the eye see it as like a separate thing to her face, because it's all quite dark in that area, and you kind of need to have something. The gel pens that I'm using on her hair here, they are a Pilot Juice Up 04. I have like the whole pastel set, so I actually went in with some blues and some purples, but usually I use just the white for that, and I also use a different gel pen which is a bit thicker, and this one kind of allows you to smudge it out too when it's still wet, and that one is a Pentel Hybrid Gel DX, I think it is. I will edit later if I am incorrect. And I use those two highlight pens, white gel pens, in tandem when I'm making Copic artwork. Now I'm going in again here because Copics and alcohol markers will bleach out darker colors. So if you put a lighter color over a darker color, it will bleach it out, which is probably why a lot of people don't go the route that I go, where I do my darks first. So I have to go in on top once it's all sort of like finished, and do like the really dark colors just to bring them back out again from being a little bit muted and bleached out. I kind of like doing that too, because it really, I guess, helps me decide where things need to be really obviously dark and contrasting. This pen that I'm using now is the thicker pen that you'll see I'm sort of smudging it out with my fingers in places, and in places I'm using it just to create a highlight where it really needs to pop. And this particular artwork is so contrasting that there's a lot of just popping and no smudging. And that one there, I think, oh no, that's still the thick one. And so now you can see up close sort of where all the marks are. A lot of people think that I blend really well. I don't. Like, you can see up close, there's not actually that much blending happening. There's definitely mark strokes and places I haven't bothered to blend it in. It's just when you sort of like draw the camera back, it kind of makes it look all nice and smooth. But I really like looking at them up close because I like seeing all of the sort of marker lines and everything. So that's it. That's Neon. She is still available because I still have the original here. So she's still available on my website. You can also get prints of her. I really enjoyed creating this one. I think it's definitely a different color palette to what I might normally use. Definitely a lot darker and not as many colors as I would normally pull out onto the table. But she was so much fun. So if you have any questions that I didn't talk about in this video or anything else, maybe you'd like me to talk about a different topic in another video. I have so many topics I think would be fun to sort of drill down on in a video. But yeah, if there's anything you specifically want to have me discuss or any questions you have, please ask the Marker Witch. Feel free to ask the Marker Witch. See you later, art buddies. Please let me know. I'm sort of like honing this new setup. I've got a new fancy microphone and I'm gonna be moving studio in a week, so this is all gonna get pulled down. I'm gonna be in a totally new space. Maybe I'll set up a better background, and I'm literally sitting on my packing desk at the moment, so maybe I will get a little bit fancier in the next few videos. We shall see. But please let me know if there's any like tech issues or anything else that you guys spot. Help a girl out. Help a non-tech orientated girl out. But yeah, until then, thank you so much for joining me, art buddies. I will see you soon. Bye. What do you want?
The hand.
His hand?
Yeah.
What do you want it for?
My word.
Why?
Because.
No, it's my hand.
You already got your 2 hands.
No, but you always tell me I need like 3 hands because I got too much stuff to do. This is my 3rd one.
But you need it to connect on your body, but it doesn't.
To connect on my body?
Yeah.
There?
No, on the side.
Did a creepy hand.
No.
On the side? Here.
No, that's your other arm.
This side.
That's your other arm.
This side.
No, that's your hip.
This is my hip.
No, but that's your ribs.
This is my ribs.
Hey, what is that?
What about here? Here. Yeah.
Hey, you don't need a... Can I have it?
Why?
Because.
You gonna take care of it for me? Will it come back to my studio?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
Play.
Crow. Trust in you, punk.
I'm not punk. Is that a little planted?
It's pretend.
Can I have that?
No! Get out! Stop stealing my stuff. Get out. Go, shoo. Go on.
No.
I'll be out there in a minute, okay?
But you're coming.
I will go.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.